how we exist frequency as a quantum, as Paramashiva, as the reality. Higher we are, the frequency that we will start understanding that what we are is not just the body, but we are also the body. Bhagavan clearly says, how you're using your car, your body is also like a vehicle. It cannot experience anything by itself. The Paramashiva in it starts experience through the senses to show you that Paramashiva is real. The body is, even if you cut off the hand does not say, oh, I am losing my body. And it does not have anything. All it just drops, that's all. When you leave the body, it does not say, oh, why did you leave me? Same like a car. You are also the body which you created, which you're using to experience the ultimate Paramashiva, ultimate oneness. And also the mind, Bhagavan beautifully says, all the identities are on the mind. The mind creates the identities. When you understand, mind itself is a processor. It does not hold anything. And Bhagavan beautifully says, when you drop the fear and the greed, and then simply the gravitational force, you can attract what you want and reject what you want as you want in your life. Because you're holding that cognition of you are the body, you are the mind, the heaviness that you carry simply makes you into the delusion. But if you start carrying the higher cognition, I am Paramashiva, I am also the body, slowly and slowly you will start understanding who's experiencing, who's seeing, who is hearing, who is the one who's going through all this, what is there happening in yourself. Simply, Bhagavan says, you will understand when you start questioning the first person and start living with the first person, you will merge into Paramashiva, who you are, the reality. And more you drop the thoughts, you become lighter and lighter. How in the astronaut, they all are flying because they don't have thoughts. The thoughtless space makes them completely a different being. When they come back, they are highly spiritual because they know that thoughtless space is such a beautiful space to experience. The gravity is nothing but the thoughts which are pulled, and completely when we are deluded, we are grounded into that pull of attracting the wrong things. When we are ready to drop all this and experience the oneness with Paramashiva, the ultimate, we are able to attract all the auspiciousness and abundance. Simply Paramashiva is flowing through us. What flow through us is important. When Gopikas go and ask the flute, how come the flute is always with Krishna? Always the flute is in his hand, in his hip, in his mouth, always with him. The flute replied, first I am ready to sacrifice as my plant into a piece of bamboo. Second, I am empty, completely surrendering all that I have into the lotus feet so I can become the beautiful music when he blows through me. That beautiful space each one of us can experience when we are ready to surrender the thoughts, the heaviness that we are carrying and which is not us, which does not belong to us. However, the clouds are covering the sun. The clouds are seen because of the sun. The clouds cannot cover the sun. The clouds does not do anything to the sun. It just passes off. Whatever is happening in your life is just a passing by. Nothing is real. Nothing is happening because you are Paramashiva. You are the ultimate. Bhagavan gives the Apta Pramana, how this beautiful empty space was experienced by Padmapada. Adi Shankara had a few disciples where they used to make fun of one of them, Sanatana, who was not very knowledgeable. He only did seva, continuous seva, surrendering everything, not only to Adi Shankara, but to everyone who he thought was part of Adi Shankara's mission. And he used to wash their clothes and also they used to make fun of him. In spite of that, he used to be very humble, surrendering everything, not as powerless, but powerfully as only the devotion to Adi Shankara. He was surrendering to his guru in the space of oneness continuously. Once Adi Shankara wanted to show the other disciple his surrender space. So he calls him, Sanatana, come. And simply he runs and asks Adi Shankara, what is that he's calling for? And simply he said, turn yourself back and see what it is. And he was so surprised, he turns back to see that wherever he had put his foot, there was a lotus flower. And he was so shocked how the lotus flower appeared. And also, it does not appear on the ground, it appeared on the river. And river can never have a lotus flower. Usually ponds have it. How it appeared? Because of his true devotion, he walked on true devotion. He didn't even know that he walked on the water. And he was such a space of oneness, ready to go beyond his logical mind and surrender at the word of Guru and just run to him. The surrender is not something outside, but waiting for Guru's initiation as his surrender. The ultimate oneness he experienced, and simply everybody bowed down to him and called him Padmapada. That is beautifully given in Shankara Digvijayam, Canto 6. And beautifully, he showcased how the surrender to the Guru simply makes you the enlightened space and make you levitate even on top of the water. Bhagavan beautifully explains in Atma Pramana how his experience as a child of levitation. He wanted to, one day when he was doing the Kumbhaka with his Guru, his yoga guru, he had to go to the restroom, but he was not allowed to go to the restroom till he finishes the whole task. And simply he, instead of holding his nose, he simply gave up and said to Muruga, Lord Muruga, just I surrender myself. Whatever needs to happen, let it manifest. Bhagavan beautifully explains how when you surrender, especially when you are in a survival space, to the ultimate, your neuroplasticity in your brain breaks and how it forms a new formation that your body simply starts levitating. A new consciousness starts happening. Now in microbiology and other science, they have clearly said how actually the whole universe is nothing but 96% of free space. And especially your body is completely light. Then where is the weight happening? It is the mind which is telling you that you are heavy and you are simply on the surface. It is the cognition. For example, the cognition of a metal, when you drop it in the water, it just goes to the bottom. But the same metal, when it is used in the large quantity and made as a ship, the displacement of the water is more heavy, so the whole ship floats. The cognitive shift that happens starts manifesting as a new reality, that even when you know metal drowns, but the ship floats. Same thing when you take the air, the Bhagavan says the first time he flew in the aircraft, he could see the signs, how it works, how the chemical changes happens in the body. Simply you start taking off and you start flying. And the same thing, the rishis understood that greater science and they created the Vimana. How does the flight fly? Even though we know that heavy things cannot fly, it is the cognitive shift, how you perceive things shifts when you understand that thoughtlessness is the ultimate space. You will understand the higher science, you are quantum, you are the frequency, you are the ultimate. You are the creator of everything. You are Paramashiva, you are Parashakti, and that is the real. When you understand and start cognizing this in every action, word, and thought, simply you will see yourself levitating and manifesting all the powers. Bhagavan beautifully explains how you unclutch, you can experience the higher reality. Here, a devotee in Shakshi Pramana explains how the weight of the object reduced and she was experiencing the oneness with Paramashiva. Now today we are going to levitate a bilva leaf in the palm, either in the palm or in the gadget, silicon gadget you can place. But if you're using silicon gadget, please make sure it is switched off. If you're having tulsi leaf or bilva leaf, or you have the betel leaf, anything is fine. But make sure your hand is pretty stable on a table and there is no fan or anything blowing on it. Especially if you have a leaf of a plant which is in your house, they simply listen to you because they are living with you as in the space of you. And Bhagavan says, all when you humbly surrender, they even reveal the secret of what they are, who they are, every detail to you. The ultimate space of oneness can make you manifest the higher reality. In the courtyard, Bhagavan made all the devotees sit on all the balasans sit on a weighing machine, and the weight started reducing. Of course, we did not reduce to the extent that it started levitating, but they started experiencing the oneness and the weight started reducing. The whole body became so light. All that we have, the weight in the body, is the toxins. When we remove the toxin, Bhagavan says, even for 1 gram of toxin, I cannot levitate you. But even if you're 200 kgs, I can just make you fly. But because the toxin in our body is nothing but our own mind, when we drop that completely and surrender, we are in the oneness with Paramashiva, manifesting the higher realities, the levitation beyond the gravity. We understand the consciousness is so powerful to make us levitate. Let's get into the beautiful space of oneness. If you have the Jnananjan in the Kantamala, you can apply in your third eye and your temple. If you have the camera, you can set up the camera. And please sit in a very comfortable position, in a comfortable place. And if you're going to place into the palm, make sure it's very stable. And sit straight with the head, neck and spine in a straight line. Continuously chant the Mahavakya intensely. When you chant the Mahavakya, your frequency raises. Bhagavan beautifully says how you can understand the deep sleep and the sleep state. You can enter into that consciously. How do we enter it consciously? For our thoughts are continuously happening. The thoughts becoming zero happens when you are in deep listening. And when you chant Mahavakya, the ultimate Bhagavan's blessing, you raise in the frequency. And what are you in the deep sleep? In the Karna Sarira, there is nothing other than this exist. You are that. And simply you experience that consciously when you enter into that sleep. You think of something and then suddenly you fall into the deep sleep because deep sleep absorbs you. Same way, when you sit as Paramashiva, Parashakti, with 25 heads, 75 eyes and 50 hands, so powerful, and start chanting the Mahavakya intensely with a deep listening and surrendering Bhagavan's lotus feet, all that you know, unclutching from every thought, everything that you know as you. You are the ultimate. You are the owner of the whole thing. You don't have to be fear or greed when you are the owner of something. When you understand you are the ultimate, you are the Brahmanya Bahuputtartam. If you are in this session and still manifesting these powers, you are the chosen one, you are the ultimate. So be very clear, sit as Parashakti, the darshan we had, so gorgeous, so beautiful, so caring, so compassionate, so ferocious. Sit as Devi herself and so beautiful. Chant the Mahavakya continuously, merging into the quantum space of Paramashiva and entangling with Paramashiva in the highest form and experiencing the levitation of the leaf. Let's start chanting the Mahavakya intensely with the intense listening.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Paramashivoham, Paramashivoham.
Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us.
Paramashivoham, 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 Paramashivoham.
Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Paramashivoham, Paramashivoham,
Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us.
Paramashivoham, 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 Paramashivoham.
Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Paramashivoham, Paramashivoham,
Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham.
Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes.
Paramashivoham.
Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up,
Paramashivoham.
manifest in all of us.
Paramashivoham. 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 Paramashivoham.
Let the overflow manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
So beautiful. Bhagwan is giving us such a beautiful experience as our reality. All these small exercise might look very small, but it is poking, Bhagwan says, each of the manifestation pokes hole in your logical mind of self-doubt, self-denial, self-hatred, constantly making you feel that something outer world is real. And again, he pulls us and tells us, like how the wave continuously try to gather some sand, some shells, some crabs, and try to build a castle and try to live that saying, this is my identity. But wave is going to immediately, few minutes, get into the ocean. If it understands it is ocean, it is going to be fulfilled. If it is going to think that it's going to live happily ever after, building a castle as a wave, it is going to be a myth, a delusion. That is how we are living our life, Bhagavan says, constantly trying to achieve something in the outer world, trying to grab some knowledge, trying to do something, build a castle, but nothing is going to go with us. Not even Bhagavan says the broken needle can go with us. All that we have to leave back and get into the space of Paramashiva. But understanding that we are Paramashiva, we can enjoy as any number of waves, and any number of ocean cannot make us in fear or greed. If we drop all that and understand we are Paramashiva, what you're seeing on the screen is nothing but yourself as the whole thing. Bhagavan says, I am a mirror. I just show you who you are. And more you fall in love because you are that. You are Paramashiva. That is why we all love to go into the sleep every single day, because we experience that unconsciously. If I can consciously experience that, what a beautiful space and what a ultimate space. That is what Bhagavan is initiating us. Bhagavan says, Svetaketu, just by 9 times repeating that Tattvamasi, he was enlightened by his guru when he initiated. But he is going on repeating, I am Paramashiva, I am Paramashiva. Each one of us is Paramashiva. but we are not able to receive it because we are not more and more matured into that. And that happens, that maturity, that initiation becomes our reality when we start manifesting these powers as our reality. Even if you are not manifesting, you are Paramashiva is the powerful cognition to hold, to experience the reality. Bhagavan says, whether whatever you are Paramashiva, and Paramashiva is real. Manifesting that Paramashiva as Parashakti, as beautiful experience and auspiciousness, is what each manifestation, Bhagavan's prasada directly to each one of us. Simply when you surrender everything and understand you are the ultimate, you are the greatest ultimate happening on planet Earth, because you are chosen from 84 million species and 8 billion people to be here today as manifesting as Paramashiva in the Kailash courtyard. Bhagavan says, you are the chosen one and you can experience once you decide that I am Paramashiva, Paramashiva is real. I am also the body and I can experience all this consciousness as my reality. The more and more you surrender in oneness, you become Paramashiva as you can experience all these powers simply happening as your reality. All the signs become truth when you understand you are the frequency, you are the quantum. And now science is catching up to tell that how we are the frequency, also the matter is also existing as frequency. And we can experience that frequency when we are initiated by Bhagavan into that space and we surrender our identity at Bhagavan's lotus feet and experience, get absorbed as Paramashiva when the authenticity starts happening in us. So we'll have one more quick small cycle of levitation that we can experience. Collectively, all over the world, hundreds of us sitting and chanting the Mahavakya, falling into that oneness, Bhagavan himself manifesting in us is the most auspicious space. Few more minutes, just put away your gadgets and start chanting the Mahavakya in deep listening for a few minutes. If you're sitting with the president of your country, will you be thinking of anything else? You will drop everything to be there. So drop everything to be with Paramashiva, who you are for a few minutes. The appointment with yourself, who you are as Paramashiva. Now let's sit straight with head, neck and spine in a straight line. Continuously bring awareness to your third eye by remembering Parashakti Devi herself and start chanting the Mahavakya with the intense listening, surrendering to Bhagavan, unclutching from every thought that is coming and only holding that Paramashiva as your reality again and again till you merge into Paramashiva and experience the ultimate oneness with Paramashiva. Let's start chanting the Mahavakya with the deep gratitude and surrender.
Paramashivoham, Paramashivoham.
Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us.
Paramashivoham, 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 Paramashivoham.
Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham.
Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes.
Paramashivoham.
Let the Amrita pour, let the Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham.
Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes.
Paramashivoham.
Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up,
Paramashivoham.
manifest in all of us.
Paramashivoham. 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 Paramashivoham.
Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Beautifully. Please open your eyes. Slowly, all that prasada, that Kundalini energy, or you feeling very heavy, not moving at all, or you experiencing the tingling, or you experiencing the heat, whatever you're experiencing, or the Really, the leaf is levitating beautifully at your experience, whatever you are going through. Please share in tinyurl.com/power manifestation and thank Bhagwan for such a beautiful session of Devi herself coming down and giving us blessing and giving us initiation and making us sit and manifest all these powers happening as our own reality, our own prasada, the greatest gift that we are receiving. Thank Bhagwan. Take a minute to thank Bhagwan. All this auspiciousness in your social media or in tinyurl.com/power manifestation. One, it makes you very confident how Paramashiva is real, is happening in you. Two, you are celebrating you are Paramashiva and that is the reality. Three, thanking Bhagwan is for all this offering that he's showering on us. And if you'd like to contribute, you can click on the $sign, contribute to Kailasha, contribute to Devi. All that auspiciousness, abundance, and life becomes a new reality when you build your Kailasha in your heart, when you contribute. When you start causing others, when you start contributing, you start believing who you are as Paramashiva. You're voting yourself into Paramashiva's space. That is why Bhagavan gives these exercise for us to realize Paramashiva as our reality. Thanking all of you here in all the social media, manifesting these powers of Paramashiva, beautiful collective integrity, collective consciousness happening as reality. With a deep gratitude and deep earning Paramashiva as my thought, word, and action, seeing everybody as Paramashiva as my reality, holding that powerful cognition, and thanking Bhagwan and ending this session with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamudashyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavate Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam Padukarpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you so much. See you after the next darshan or satsang in Kailash Kotiar Manifesting Power session. Thank you.